Hi guys, how are you doing today? Are you ready for new stories I prepared for you? I have 4 today. Let's go to the first one, about OP's sister, who demands OP gives her her wedding dress for her to wear it on her wedding day. Enjoy the stories, guys, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And of course, don't forget to leave a comment. Me and my sister are twins. She's engaged and is going through the whole process of planning her wedding, and I'm helping out. Recently, we've been wedding dress shopping, and she hasn't found a dress yet. She really likes the mermaid dress style, so I'm sending her pictures on Pinterest for inspiration and such. Our mom hasn't been able to attend wedding dress shopping with us because she is immunocompromised, so we've been taking pictures and going over to her house to show her. We went over to Mom's, and she had pulled out her old wedding dress and asked I'll call this my sister, to try it on. She tried it and hated it because it was the opposite of what she wanted. It was a poofy silk ball gown with those really ugly puff shoulders that was super popular for wedding dresses back in the 80s. My mom asked if she would want to wear it for a little, just for the sentiment, and she refused and literally said, "No, let me, have it instead because it's so outdated." And we all laughed about it. After this, I asked my mom if I could have the dress so maybe I can see if I can make some changes to it, and she was happy to give it to me. I sew and upcycle things I find at the thrift, so I wanted to see if I could make it wearable. It's honestly a really beautiful dress besides the poofs on the shoulders. I worked on this dress for a good 3 to 4 weeks, and hard work pays off because it looks really similar to Kate Middleton's dress. I am so happy with the dress and plan on wearing it to my special day, and my mom loves it too. Me and have not been talking, purely because she is getting super busy with wedding planning and doing her bachelorette trip, so I haven't really told her the stuff I've been doing on the dress. My mom posted a picture of the dress so far, not finished, on her Facebook, and my sister saw it and texted me saying she didn't know how I had taken the dress. She asked if she could try it on, and of course I said yes. She came over and tried it on, and she started crying, and I'm feeling so happy that she loves it too. That's when she starts giving me suggestions to add bling here and how she wants the sleeves longer. And I tell her that I intend on this dress being mine, since she rejected it in the first place. She got really upset, saying she knows this is her dress and how I'm being selfish because I know that she hasn't been able to find a dress yet, and how the dress was meant to be for her. I offered to help her find a similar style, and she refuses, saying she wants to wear mom's dress now. Starts saying things like my boyfriend isn't gonna propose anytime soon, and that she was offered the dress first. I'm firm on keeping the dress, and my mom is too. My dad and some of the family think it's better if I just gave up the dress, since her wedding is first, and to ease the family tension. Am I an a-hole? Edit 1. Hey guys, I'm getting a lot of, why did you let her try it on? Well, in my mom's Facebook post, she says that it's my dress and that I'm altering it for my wedding day. So when reached out to try the dress on, I thought she knew it was my dress. I would never try to deceive my sister at all, and I never thought she would like the dress so much, since it's a really old-fashioned ball gown style. And when we were dress shopping, she really liked the modern mermaid looks. Plus, me refusing to let her try on the dress would have caused conflict too. Edit 2. Guys, my sister isn't a bad person. We love each other a lot. I understand a lot of people think it's convenient that I'm working on a wedding dress for myself and somehow I'm trying to spite her. That's not what it is at all. I thought my mom had given her dress away a while ago, and it only got brought up when got engaged, and that's when we discovered she still had the dress. Me and my significant other have been together for 5+ years, so I think I'm nearly there. Me and Mom are working on a solution on finding a similar style ball gown, and I have some scraps from Mom's old dress I can sew in the inside to keep the sentiment if she wants. We are slowly working things out. Absolutely not an a-hole. She didn't want it. OP put the time and effort into making the dress into her dream dress. It is OP's dress. My guess is OP's family is just tired of hearing about it and are hoping for the quickest resolution, whether or not it is fair. I, 33 female, was married to Ian for 6 years. Ian passed away last week at the age of 34 in an accident. We weren't exactly good friends when we broke up. We were working on being courteous for the sake of our family. My sister married his stepsister, so cutting off communication was not really an option. We also had a son who died a year before we broke up. January will be 2 years since he passed. Both handled the loss very badly and basically ran our marriage into the ground. Point is, he was a decent man who just got handed some really crappy cards. And even though we weren't close at the time, the news of his death, so close to the day our son died, just tore me apart, and I was a mess of tears for days. Around 6 months ago, I met Ben, 45 male, and we've been together since. Things are going well so far, and we don't really disagree or argue about anything. That is, until Ian's death. Ben has taken personal offense to the fact that I'm grieving for Ian, or as he puts it, crying over another man. He seems to think that this means that Ian and I continue seeing each other behind his back. I have tried to explain that you don't have to be sleeping with someone to feel sad that they're gone, and that it reminded me of our son's death, and all this is just adding to the situation. He stopped talking to me, and I left him alone, hoping he just needed time to cool off. When I called Ian's family to offer my condolences, they invited me to the funeral, and of course I said yes. My sister and my parents were also going to be there, and I wanted to offer my support and also be supported. When I told Ben, his silent treatment was replaced by more shouting, and he forbade me from going or spending time with his family again. I ignored him and went anyway, and now his entire family uninvited me from Christmas. We're allowed to have Christmas gathering of max 3 households, unless I apologize and cut contact with my ex-in-laws. They're all angry with me, and he's back to not talking because divorce means you leave your ex and family in the past. But mine and Ian's family say I did nothing wrong. I feel like I'm not weird for being sad that he died, but I was aware that I was hurting him and went anyway. I'm not sure if I would have gone if I'd known it would hurt him to this extent. I was counting on him coming around, but that seems unlikely at this point. Should I just apologize and pretend to not be sad anymore? Am I an a-hole for upsetting my boyfriend by going to my ex-husband's funeral, even after he asked me not to go? OP is not an a-hole. This is insane, and it's a red flag. OP can expect this sort of unbalanced, jealous response from him in any situation in their relationship. OP cannot allow him to win or forgive you on this. If he wants to resume seeing OP, he should expect to apologize and give commitments not to treat OP like that again, and he has to hope for OP's forgiveness. I'm currently overseas to be a part of my relative's wedding. I do not speak the language here. My mom and aunts do. Before coming here, I spoke with the bride to discuss hair and makeup arrangements. She had hired a makeup team for the whole bridal party, and I would only need to come to her hotel to have it done. The whole week leading up to the wedding, I have been overseas. One of my aunts, who is in the bridal party, believes that the hair makeup team my cousin selected is not of a good quality because she doesn't like the style of makeup that they do, and she has hired my other aunt's friend Brenda to do her makeup separately. My mom and other aunt decided to use Brenda for their makeup as well, and have been pressuring me to do the same. On 4 separate occasions, they've given me the whole spiel. Why don't you use our makeup artist? She'll be so much better than the one for the other bridesmaids. On 4 separate occasions, I've made it clear that the point isn't to look better than the other bridesmaids, but to match them, which I will not do if I separate hair makeup artists. Furthermore, the one the bride selected is actually very good and already paid for. I don't want to be rude by wasting the bride's money and rejecting her perfectly valid choice. Each time I specifically listed my reasons just so there would be no confusion as to my decision. Cut to last night. I asked my Aunt Nancy, 47 female, when we would be leaving to go to the hotel. She got on the phone with the bride, speaking the native language, and then told me, "Oh, bride says you can just have your makeup done here to save you the drive." I reiterated my decision and asked if the bride's makeup artist was going to be the one coming here. The response was, "Yeah." Well, guess who shows up at my aunt's house this morning? None other than Brenda. I texted the bride to ask if her makeup team was coming. She responded that Nancy had told her I decided to have my hair and makeup done at her house with Brenda, and that my time slot with her artist had already been given away to someone else. I was furious. I stormed out of the guest room and confronted my mom and aunt, demanding to know why my time slot was canceled without my knowledge when I had expressly told them my decision so many times. Their excuse was, this plan was in progress since before we left. It was Aunt Eliza's idea. Our artist can do the same thing, but better. I told them that I didn't care whose idea it was or when they were planning it. This was an agreement between myself and the bride, and they had no right to cancel my appointment, much less without even telling me. I asked my mother what was so important about me using the artist of her choice that she felt it was necessary to trick me and tell me half-truths in order to get her way. She was silent. I was so angry over the deception that they immediately called the bride and arranged for Brenda to do the makeup for the person that had been given my time slot, so I could follow the original plan I made with the bride. I still have the sense that she did so to placate me and save face, as I was more than ready to reveal the lie to the rest of the family and hire a taxi to take me to the hotel where I could do my own makeup. I don't think any of them have realized how inappropriate it is to meddle behind our backs like that, as if the fact they've known me and the bride since we were kids automatically makes our decisions invalid and gives them a right to bulldoze over us without reproach. I'm seriously considering never traveling with my mother again, as this isn't the first time she's changed plans for us over the course of this trip and neglected to tell me until it was within the half hour of leaving, or doing whatever it is she decided to do. Am I being too harsh? If not, what can I say or do to drive home the fact that what they are doing is extremely disrespectful and inappropriate? I've already made it clear I won't be manipulated into doing what they want unless they discuss it with me first. But they still are making excuses that these incidents are due to miscommunication rather than any deliberate action. OP has every right to be pissed. They are being extremely disrespectful to OP, and it is completely inappropriate. If I were in OP's shoes, I would let them know that if a change about me is ever made without me speaking to someone directly, that I will never travel with them again. Update. I should have mentioned in the original, I did immediately text the bride and let her know that I told everyone I wanted to do my makeup with the rest of the bridal party, and followed it up with, "I'm so sorry for the inconvenience. I have no idea why Aunt would have told you otherwise." So she knows what happened at least. Now, the good part. Karma hit everyone better than I could have hoped. One more thing I forgot to note is that Brenda is a hairstylist, not a makeup artist. So after about 30 minutes with this superior stylist, supposedly better than the bride's professional makeup team, my mom came out of the guest room. She had bright, glittery white eyeshadow filled up to her eyebrows, smeary black eyeliner, and bright red lipstick to top it all off. Her eyebrows were filled in to disproportionality, like Nike swoops, using what looked like brown eyeliner pencil. It was bad. She flounced out into the living room and asked, grinning, "So, what do you think?" I deadpanned. "Your eyebrows terrify me." She mumbled something about, "Well, I'm just playing along with all this makeup for the wedding, so," and retreated back to the guest room. Brenda took so long just to do my mom's hair and makeup that my Aunt Nancy never even got any time to be made up. And Aunt Eliza, who my mom and Aunt Nancy blamed the whole Brenda supervision on? Guess who was seated in the makeup chair being worked on by the inferior makeup team when I arrived? Don't worry though, karma hits her hardest of all. In the end, both my and Aunt Eliza's makeup was done very wonderfully. My mom even paid them 100 pesos to fix her makeup when she saw how well they did mine. This is my favorite part. After I left the country, I found out from my mom that Aunt Eliza had gotten permanent makeup done. She had her lips tattooed bright red, and her eyebrows filled in like my mom's had been. Now, Aunt Eliza has naturally thin lips. So, of course, the sensible thing to do was to tattoo the lipstick on in a rounded, overdone heart shape that visibly extends past her actual lip line. So now she has disproportionately large fake lips and massive Sharpie brows tattooed on her face, forever correction, for at least a year or more. Which is still pretty damn awesome. When I got home, I decided I was never going back to my family's home country until I was fluent in the language, because that language barrier definitely was a thing that they used to take control of situations and, at the last minute, say, well, we completely changed things X days ago, but it's too late to change it now. So I'd have to go along with whatever they said. I've completely cut off Aunt Eliza and her husband, and have decided to go low contact with my mom and Aunt Nancy. I know you guys wanted me to cut them all out completely, but I based my decision on the fact that Aunt Eliza is by far the worst of my relatives. She called my mother a pack mule while we were hiking, and prior to leaving on one excursion, started rampaging through our accommodation, ordering everyone to get ready faster to make up for the fact that she hadn't communicated the departure time to anyone, and we were now running late. Weeks before the wedding, she was also sending me furtive messages criticizing the bride's choice in the bridesmaid dress colors, calling the dresses cheap and poor quality, and telling me her husband was saying that if we walked down the aisle in those dresses, we'd need to put paper bags over our heads. Oh, but of course, she was telling me not to say anything to bride, because that would make Aunt Eliza look like a bad person. Imagine that. I've been considering going no contact with her for a while now, and all this was just the straw that broke the camel's back. Aunt Nancy is normally a wonderful hostess and very kind. This behavior was very out of the ordinary for her, and I feel like it was just Aunt Eliza's influence bringing out the worst in people that caused her to do any of this. I feel like this one incident still doesn't eclipse the great job she did entertaining us and opening her home to us, as she's done in the past. My mom did act disrespectfully, especially given the fact that I support her and of course paid for our tickets. But she's still my mom, and she has made a lot of sacrifices for me in the past, which I do owe her for. Her health is also not great right now. She suffers from severe anxiety attacks among other things, and I think that cutting contact completely might actually cause an episode bad enough to literally give her a heart attack. However, this incident has told me that despite everything I've done for her in turn, she has absolutely no respect for me as an independent adult and seems incapable of realizing the error of those actions. Going low contact is the best middle ground I can find between what I need to do and what is right.